September 11, 2001. It wouldn't be surprising if everyone in this room understood the importance of this date. It is even likely that many of you can remember exactly what you were doing. Among the many issues that this day represented, it was an event that took the lives of nearly 3,000 people. How about September 9, 2004? Sadly, it would be surprising if anyone in this room understood the significance of this date. This is the day United States Secretary of State Colin Powell declared the year-old conflict in Darfur genocide. Now, do not misunderstand me. 9/11 was a horrible day for this nation. It took the lives of friends and loved ones, as well as leaving many scared and devastated. In no way should this devastation be minimized. The comparison is to remind us what it feels like when tragedy happens at our doorstep. More than 100 times the people died in Darfur compared to 9/11. Lives that are no more, no less important than those who have died here on our soil. However, this destruction is being continued and ignored. As stated by George W. Bush in May of 2006, we must understand that the rape and the murder and the suffering must be stopped. We will not tolerate the genocide taking place in that country. The question I ask you is, would we allow this to continue if it was happening here, happening in our country? Today I'm going to inform you about what genocide is, what is happening in Darfur, and what is being done about it. Because genocide is a real-life issue that is affecting over 3 million people in Darfur, Sudan, right now. Now, in order to understand the extremity of what is happening in Darfur, you need to first understand what genocide is. Genocide is a legal definition and a punishable crime under international law. In 1948, the United Nations created the Convention on the Prevention and the Punishment of the Crime of Genocide. However, genocide existed long before this term was defined. As written in Article 2 of the Convention, genocide means any of the following acts committed with the intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnical, racial, or religious groups. A few of these acts include killing members, causing serious bodily or mental harm, or deliberately inflicting conditions of life calculated to bring about the group's physical destruction. Also, it does not require violence to commit the act of genocide. To plan or provoke genocide is a punishable offense as well. Now that I've given you a better understanding of what genocide is, I'm going to tell you exactly what is happening in Darfur. Since 2004, over 300,000 people have been killed and 2.5 million displaced due to the violence in Darfur. Everything began in early 2003, when rebel movements made an attack on government military because of ongoing frustrations. However, the true depth of the violence began when the government made their counterattack. Over 400 villages were quickly wiped out at the hands of the Janjaweed. Continued raids by the Janjaweed, as well as conflict among other groups, caused the violence to increase rapidly. Since the beginning, over 2.5 million people have had to relocate due to the violence. Many of the refugees have fled to the neighboring country of Chad, causing a lack of resources and dangerous living situations there. Also, a large percentage of the deaths in Darfur have been a result of a lack of care and resources, as well as dangerous living conditions directly resulting from the violence. In an interview with the New York Times, a former Janjaweed member gave an honest and chilling account of the chaos that he took part in. "We did many bad things on these raids," he said. "Everything you can think of, and maybe some other things too." Now that you understand what genocide is, as well as what is happening in Darfur, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what is being done about it and what is supposed to be done. Several organizations have been created in order to send money and support to those suffering in Darfur. However, many are hesitant to call this violence genocide because of the larger effort that would be required of them. Genocide is usually made possible by the passivity of both internal and external bystanders, as recognized by the Oxford Companion of Military History. All contracting parties of the convention are required to help prevent and end all acts of genocide. However, there are 43 nations contracted to this convention, and the U.S. is the only nation that has admitted that this violence is in fact genocide. According to the Encyclopedia of U.S. History, the feeble international response to the massacres committed in Bosnia and Rwanda came as some signatory governments, including that of the United States, took pains to avoid triggering, or using the word genocide, in order to avoid triggering the obligations required of them as stated in the convention. The same limited response is happening in Darfur and causing many more people to die every day. On the other hand, there has been some international response providing support and funds working towards a resolution and helping those suffering. An article by the Save Darfur Coalition stated the International Criminal Court last year issued an arrest warrant for Sudan President Omar Hassan al-Bashir for war crimes in Darfur. This was the first effort made by ICC to prosecute those responsible for this tragedy. However, the ICC can only issue this warrant. They cannot actually find him. In the United States, there have been several organizations created in order to send money and support to those suffering. There are numerous websites solely created in this effort, including SaveDarfur.org, OurPledge.org, and HelpDarfurNow.org. These sites you can learn more about what is happening and even make a donation. Also, you can even purchase merchandise, like a fashionable t-shirt, allowing you to promote awareness just by wearing it. Plus, all proceeds go straight to helping end this tragedy. Today you have heard about what genocide is, what is happening to the people in Darfur, and what is being done about it. When looking at a large-scale tragedy like this, it can be hard to feel as if you can make a difference. However, I challenge you to remember the way this country came together over 9/11. A small effort from each person is what allowed this country to survive and even grow from the experience. If only you remember those that have been lost, then you can make and promote less violence in day-to-day life, then you too can make a difference.